Welcome back to the channel. So you join me here back up in the West Highland Peninsulas again. This was towards the end of my trip. I have a couple more videos lined up. Here I'm just having a little stop off on the way to Sanna Bay, which is pretty much over near the most western point in the United Kingdom. Didn't quite make it there. Apparently it was quite a treacherous walk, and I didn't have some of the footwear that I'd need to make that. So instead we're heading over to Sanna Bay. It's a lovely place. Highly recommended by the Harvey, the guy who was running the place where we were staying. And the dog needed a break, and I saw a nice little picture here, so I'm just taking a little snap. Now, the rest of this trip doesn't quite go to plan. The weather was quite changeable. The wind, as you could possibly hear, is atrocious. Extremely high. I had some concerns about the tripods. They were, as you can see at the start of this video, they were founded. I had some problems getting sharp images, doing the sort of bracketing and stuff. Yeah, the wind was causing havoc. I guess now we get to see a little bit of how trying to do the YouTube stuff as well as the photography can kind of have a potential negative impact sometimes. Having to set up all the cameras, it was quite distracting. The main problem, I think, was just you're out there, you're on holiday, you're trying to make the most of the time that you have, and sometimes the weather isn't with you, the light isn't with you, and it all adds up to not the best experience. That said, it's all experience at the end of the day, and it was a nice day out in some respects if you discount the smashed mobile phone. At least the main camera wasn't damaged, that's the main thing. So here's the image that I came away with. I did use an ND filter and a polarizer. I bracketed the image as well. Not the most impressive picture I've ever taken, but you know, it's a nice reminder of the scenery along the way. And it came out reasonably sharp, which gave me a little bit of optimism for the rest of the day. We'll stay that way. But now let's get packed up, back in the car, back on the road, and head to Sanna Bay.
Alright, I am at Sanna Beach in the Western Highlands, and oh my goodness, I think sound is going to be practically impossible today. I am slightly concerned about the tripod's ability to handle this amount of wind, but as you can see, it's a pretty stunning beach. Just, you go from having a lot of seaweed covered rocks on pretty much every shore you see all the way up here, and then you walk through some sand dunes, and here you are. Where we're staying at the moment, the guy who runs the estate there said it looks like a Caribbean beach, and he's not incorrect. So I'm going to give up now because I'm looking at the audio meter and it's peaking like crazy. So let's get some pictures taken and then get back to the car where the wife is waiting, and probably yeah, she'll be waiting a little while, I think.
This is the part of the video where things start to go downhill. You can see already that the wind is starting to push back the vlogging camera, and I probably should have realized straight away to give up on recording this, but you know. The other problem was, at least at this end of the beach, I was struggling to frame up something that looked compelling. I got a couple of pictures which you get a nice view of the beach. It wasn't anything really captivating though. Now, looking back at the satellite footage I played before, I think there would have been some more interesting shots over on the left-hand side of the beach there. I'm currently on the right-hand side, which is where you come in from the car park, but before I could even get there, I will damage my kit, and I didn't get to explore the rest of the beach as my focus went on getting my stuff back in one piece and minimizing my losses. Well, this is the first shot I went for, and if we punch in, see that the image is very soft. This is because, again, I was trying to bracket the images, but the buffeting from the wind on the tripod was just making it so that none of the pictures were actually fully tack sharp. Of course, using the ND filters, we're taking longer exposures, but I wanted to try and smooth out the sea, and it's just a combination that didn't work at the time.
I think filming this is practically possible. So we're still up here, F11 as usual. Not exactly super keen on what I can get with the lens I've got here. 24mm is the foreground isn't super interesting. Telephoto is kind of okay. I think what I might do is just go handheld down there, and there's I'm going to try one or two long exposure shots up here, and I think I'm going to give up on filming. Maybe, we'll see, and get some handheld shots down at the bottom. So I think anything long exposure is just going to be messed up by the wind. I mean, you can see that, you can see the force of it. You can probably hear the force of it in the camera. So anyway, right, it's time to stop waffling and get on with the job.
So I did try one more time with a long exposure, and yeah, it might be marginally sharper, and at a distance it looks okay, but yeah, if you're gonna pixel peep, it is pretty soft. I guess I predicted correctly on the day. Maybe I should be happy with that, maybe not. So let's go to the scene of the crime, shall we? And see if the picture that I got in the end was worth it. Hurts to watch it back. Rookie mistake. I either should have trusted my instincts from up on the hill before, called it a day on the filming, or placed the tripod better, make sure it was more sturdy and wasn't going to fall over. It was quite top heavy with using a big S23 Ultra. So I did get a couple of pictures. I put them here. They're okay. If I could do it again, I'd go further down the beach. There's a nice little bay a little bit down, which might have been a bit better. It also would have been nicer to have a day where there was less wind, so I could have had a bit more success with the long exposure, which, you know, with the waves and the sea and all the clouds, it would have been better to smooth them out without also losing the detail in the background on the hills. But the dog, as usual, he did manage to enjoy himself, scurrying around the beach there. So all wasn't lost. So thank you for joining me on another expedition out and about. I think it is probably important to post the fails as well as the things that go well. There are quite a few things to take away from this. Sometimes you shouldn't force yourself to go and do something if the weather's so bad. If the wind's bad as well, focus less on the long exposure photography, or buy a better tripod. But again, thanks for coming along with me, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this, hopefully with more success in the future. Otherwise, drop a like on the video, whatever you do on this YouTube platform. Otherwise, I'll see you again next week with another video. Ciao.